Good evening, friends. How are you all doing? Well, there's a lot of young people in the village that I'm just discovering getting trapped intensely in things that are completely avoidable. And so I am just shocked that the kinds of traps that we live in diaspora are very much alive and present in the village. And I'm going to tell you all about it using examples from my neighborhood here. I just met, not met, I was just hanging out with one of the young guys who helped me scout out for land. Typically, their job is to go out, find land that is being sold. They do the background check for me before I can go and see what's going on. So I won't mention his name, but we will call him Awenyo for the sake of this video. So Awenyo is 36, so much younger than I am. Awenyo has two wives, eight children, and just welcomed his excuse me, his first grandchild. Now, I'm not making any moral judgments on anything, and so this story is not about polygamy or any of that stuff. But clearly, he occupies a very unique place in life in terms of his choices. At 36, with a grandchild, eight children, and two wives, that's a little out of the norm. And so we go to chat this afternoon. We were out looking for land for a friend in Australia. And so I got time to talk with him about what's going on. And he explained to me how he got there. Because I was just wondering, I mean, when I was his age, I could barely think of holding on to a family, let alone running two families with grandchildren. And so he told me some really interesting things that got me to see the world where young people in the village get trapped in very similar traps like the ones we live abroad. So, as we discuss his experiences and a few others, first of all, I'm going to welcome you to the village, friends. This is Wonodede. Of course, I'm joining you from paradise. This is Kisumu, Karateng, Western Kenya, and we're just living the best life. We don't have everything we need, and we probably may never get there. But I assure you, what we have in the village for me is enough. This is all. This is enough for me. I can wake up in the morning and just look behind me. Look behind me. Almost every single inch of this property is covered by some fruit tree, some native trees, the ones that are non-native. But this is sort of like the background I enjoy every single day. It's actually an afternoon. It's already 5 p.m. I'm already done with my work for the day, and so I'm coming home to just chill, do a little bit of work, and just enjoy this space. Folks, the village is exceptionally kind. So come join us. So if you're one of those folks who live abroad and are thinking about moving back at some point, whether it's now or in the future, and you need help, my number is below. I help with construction, land, real estate, cars, and things like that. Reach out and we'll see what we can do for you. But anyway, that said, so when I asked Awinyo how he ended up with two wives and all that stuff, he explained to me that the reason he did what he did was because his father has four wives. His grandfather had about seven wives, and he has two other brothers, and every single one of them has at least two wives. He is the last one of the three guys. And so for him, he ended up in a polygamous union because he felt that he needed to toe the line. This is what everybody does. So then I asked him, how well is this arrangement working for you? And of course, he was so on some things, but he's happy with other things. Apparently, when he gets home, he's the Lord of the Hill, King of the Hill. He's got two women catering to him, and apparently they both get along really well. One is from Cumberland, for those who are in Kenya, you know what that is, and one is Nyaseme. But apparently, those two are making it work. But you can see the pressure is intense. Financially, it's really hard on him. Life is a little rough around the edges because he doesn't have formal employment. He is just a real estate person who scouts out for land and they get commission once land is sold. So their job is very hard, very unpredictable. So they're always running low on fuel. So I kind of feel sad for him, but I that's just what it is. But what I found out is that the young man his age, I think that he would be a Gen Z or whatever generation he is. In the majority of cases, when they end up in polygamy, it's because they get married and then something happens. Then the wife leaves, then the guy gets another wife. And then not too long after that, the first wife comes back. I know a lot of people within my circle who have multiple wives because of that. They had some previous arrangements or entanglements that fizzled, and then they started new ones, and then the old ones came back. Actually have a friend of mine who has three right now. Another one has, I think there are two, because of things like that. Personally, I couldn't care less. These are grown adults who choose to do that. I could not care less. Makes you happy, that's fine. But when young people get into things because they have to, either because of trend or because of pressure, a lot of times it doesn't work out. It's the stuff that I've seen in diaspora. And I'm just saddened to see the same problems in the village. Next door, about maybe 5 blocks from my home, another neighbor of mine, a young man that I know of, he started building his house nearly 12 years ago. And within the last 10 years, he's not done anything on it. The house stalled somewhere in the middle with the walls. And it's been like that for 10 years. So you can imagine the state of the current house. So when he came back earlier this year, I think it was, this is 2025, and I'm giving you this video in September. The guy came back, I think earlier, probably January 2025. So I thought he was going to finish what was left. So when he got home, he simply expanded the building. So expanded it massively, did not move it any further. And then he went back. So when I came back home this summer, the house is stalled again, but this time around, it's much bigger than what it was. And I'm wondering, this young man, for the amount he spent building this monstrosity, he would have finished a small, reasonable house and you'd just be fine. So it turns out that there is a group of young men who also feel the pressure to do the very same thing that others are doing. Because I'm telling you, in the village, people are building massive haciendas. What you're seeing behind you here is nothing, I promise you. These are some of the smallest of what you'll find in Karating. People are building massive homes here, and some people have the money and they're doing that. So then you have young people who may not have the financial means but feel the pressure to do the same thing. And these guys are getting themselves into so much trouble, it's unbelievable. There's another neighbor of mine, also a few blocks away. This young man was working for a government agency. And apparently, with the government, some of these folks have ways of making extra money here and there. He's been swimming in cash. And when you hear neighbors call him Keep Change, that is his name, Keep Change. He would go, whenever he goes to buy stuff, if it's 1,000 shillings, he does not take his change. So something happened about 3 months ago at his work. Apparently, there was some deal that went wrong and they were all fired. As we speak, this man used to live in an apartment that was paying rent like 100,000 Kenya shillings. That's about maybe $900, $800 a month, which is high for people that young. And then went for what in my mind was expensive in terms of an apartment, bought 3 cars. And of course, it's only him and the wife. So again, my way of looking at life is really poverty stricken. And so I don't know why you need 3 cars, living in a very expensive apartment, and barely investing. And he's just been spending and spending and spending. So when he lost his job, all the cars have just been. In fact, the last one was taken yesterday. I was watching them come and pick his very big car, one of these 4x4s. It's gone. The last one is gone. They've already moved from the 100,000 Kenya shilling home to a much smaller apartment that now it's his wife who is now paying. And he's virtually lost everything. So when I look at these examples of young people getting trapped in the same traps that I've seen abroad, it makes me really feel sad. Because when I moved to the US, I would see a lot of people getting into some financial commitments that ended up really ruining their lives. Buying homes they could not afford, buying cars they could not afford, credit cards, holiday, and all kinds of things. I've lived through that 20 years of life in America, seeing those kind of things. And it really makes me sad when I move back home and I see young people going through the exact same thing. And I wonder whether it's because in many of our communities, financial literacy is not something that is taught. In high school or in grade school, we were taught business education. I don't remember if there were lessons about financial literacy. In fact, for many of us, the first time we actually got to touch real cash was when we moved to college and we got like student loans. When I was in college, I think we used to get like 25,000 or something, and that was a lot of money considering that when I left high school, my pocket money was like 200 shillings. And then you get to college, somebody is giving you 25,000. That was a lot of money and really messed up. So there's a lot of young people that I run into that are going through the same thing. And I don't know what to do with this. Many of them are people that work for me, many of them are within my circles, and I really feel bad for them. So if there's folks who have better ideas as to how we can advise these young folks to avoid these traps, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Because again, when we come back to the village, we are not just interested in creating comfortable lives for ourselves. If there's ways we can help change our community, change the narrative, many of us are committed to doing that. So I'm curious to see if there's ways we can help these young people. Let me know. Well, thank you folks for listening, and I will see you in the next. Bye.